Jason was once recruited by the CIA and placed into the top-secret Cheston program, where agents were brainwashed, brutally trained, and turned into perfect assassins, true living weapons. However, after a failed mission, he completely lost his memory, not knowing who he was or remembering his past. Jason wandered aimlessly, surviving by fighting in underground arenas across Greece. A life without purpose, without family, merely existing, not truly living. Those meaningless days slowly came to an end when his former colleague Nikki suddenly appeared. Nikki hacked into the CIA system and stole top-secret classified files. Among them was crucial information related to Jason's past and his father's role in the Cheston program. However, the intrusion did not last long before CIA tech experts detected unusual activity. Leading the team was Lee, who quickly realized someone was attempting to breach the security system. All operations at headquarters were suspended to focus on stopping the attack. The CIA firewall was long considered impenetrable. But Nikki was a brilliant hacker who had once been trained by the CIA itself. In just a short time, she found a vulnerability and penetrated deep into the system, simultaneously uncovering numerous dark secrets the CIA had long concealed, including dirty operations directly tied to Jason. As the secrets surfaced, Nikki was left in shock. At that moment, Lee immediately deployed malware to block the breach and ordered a full system shutdown, forcing the intrusion to be terminated. Even so, the damage was clear. Many CIA classified files had been leaked. An emergency report was sent to the director. Upon receiving the news, he ordered an emergency meeting within 1 hour. During that time, Lee continued tracing the intruder's trail through the computer manufacturer used. She quickly pinpointed the device's location, narrowed down the suspect and activated facial recognition software. Before long, the hacker's identity was confirmed. It was Nikki. At the high-level leadership meeting, Lee presented all the evidence and confirmed that information about the CIA's black operations had been leaked. Facing the severity of the situation, the CIA director immediately approved an operation to capture Nikki and locate Jason. According to Lee's analysis, the leaked data related to Jason was the most extensive. Therefore, to eliminate future threats, they had to uproot the problem entirely. Lee volunteered to join the operation. She believed the malware she planted allowed her to closely track Nikki's movements, making the pursuit of both targets much easier. The director agreed and placed her in command of the entire operation. At the same time, he secretly hired an assassin with orders to kill Jason at the first opportunity. Meanwhile, Jason continued wandering the streets, fighting matches just to earn a few dollars, completely unaware that death was silently approaching him step by step. At that moment, he suddenly spotted Nikki. Jason knew very well that her appearance meant trouble was inevitable. After the fight, he followed the note Nikki left in his belongings to Atesh Square, where a large-scale protest was taking place. Nikki deliberately blended into the crowd to throw off her pursuers. However, she did not realize that back at CIA headquarters, the hunters only needed to sit in front of screens, using satellites and facial recognition systems, to gradually lock onto the positions of both her and Jason. Before long, amid the chaotic crowd, Jason found Nikki. He was extremely surprised, unable to understand what had forced her to recklessly appear in such a dangerous place. Nikki candidly revealed that she had just breached the CIA's security system and uncovered numerous dirty files directly related to Jason. She understood better than anyone the years he had spent suffering while living as a weapon, haunted by the sins of his past to the point where he could never sleep peacefully. Nikki said that everything he had endured was the result of a long-orchestrated CIA plan. They had even been monitoring him for many years. If he did not face the truth, Jason would be tormented by his past forever. Before their conversation could finish, Jason realized they had been exposed. The CIA had traced the whereabouts of both of them. If they stayed together, capture would only be a matter of time. Jason immediately decided to split up, arranging to meet again near the statue of the goddess Athena. He would deliberately reveal himself to lure CIA agents into chasing him, creating a chance for Nikki to escape. Sure enough, the moment Jason's face appeared on the recognition system, the CIA director immediately ordered all forces to be mobilized for his capture and authorized lethal force at any time. Realizing he had become bait, Jason quickly slipped into a blind spot. When the agents rushed in, he did not hesitate, launching decisive counterattacks and taking them all down in an instant. He then sprinted into the subway station to shake off pursuit. However, Jason's actions caught the attention of the Greek police. They immediately gave chase, forcing him to use the protesting crowd as cover to escape. As soon as news came in that the agent team had been taken down, the CIA director immediately contacted the assassin, ordering him to continue pursuing Jason. Amid the chaos, Jason deliberately attacked a Greek police officer, seizing the officer's motorcycle as his escape vehicle. The assassin also immediately revved his engine and gave chase from another direction. On the other side, Nikki was also being closely tailed by other CIA agents. She nearly got captured. Luckily, Jason appeared just in time, pulling her out of the encirclement by a hair's breadth, realizing the targets had escaped. The chase unfolded right in the middle of the protest, making the atmosphere even more tense and chaotic. Jason could only rely on instinct and push forward, while the assassin received remote support from Lee via satellite. Every hotspot and every route blocked by Greek police was quickly updated by Lee, allowing the assassin to track every move of Jason and Nikki. At first, all their movements were closely monitored. Realizing the disadvantage, Jason decided to leave the main roads. He swerved into narrow alleys and charged up steep stairways where the assassin's car could not reach. Facing sharp turns, the assassin nearly lost control and came close to death several times, forcing him to give up. However, thanks to satellite surveillance from above, the CIA still managed to determine the route of the two. Lee immediately ordered the assassin to climb onto rooftops to continue tracking from above. After securing a favorable position, the assassin waited for the targets to enter his sights. Below, Jason and Nikki weaved through the streets trying to escape the riot. At the exact moment their vehicle appeared in the scope, the assassin coldly pulled the trigger, causing the vehicle to lose control and crash straight into a car ahead, sending both of them flying and knocking them unconscious. The accident immediately drew the attention of the Greek police, forcing them to seal off the area. The CIA director feared his assassin might be captured, but the man refused to leave, determined to witness the target's death with his own eyes. Jason regained consciousness first and quickly rolled himself under the car, knowing full well that the sniper was still searching from above. Seeing that Nikki was badly wounded, he signaled her to stay still and promised he would find a way to save her. But Nikki understood that she did not have much time left, so she threw the key toward Jason. Just as he was about to rush out, the next bullet took Nikki's life right before his eyes. Jason did not dare take another step forward. Only when everything had quieted down did he crawl out to retrieve the key, carrying with him overwhelming pain and fury. Not long after, the Greek police traced the sniper's position, but he managed to rappel away and escape. Jason also did not want to get entangled in further trouble with the local authorities. He quickly left the scene, disappearing into the crowd, carrying an unfulfilled promise to Nikki and a blood-soaked past waiting to be exposed. After the operation to hunt down Jason and Nikki, although the CIA had eliminated Nikki, their most important target, Jason, had still not been taken down. In the face of this failure, the CIA director ordered Lee to continue investigating and closely monitoring all of Jason's movements. He emphasized that the moment the malware was activated, Lee had to report immediately. As for Jason, after narrowly escaping death, he carried the key Nikki left behind and went to a numbered locker. Inside, he discovered a USB drive along with a few personal items. Among them was a notebook filled with strange symbols. Returning to his room, Jason traced those numbers online and discovered they led to an address in Berlin, Germany. Without hesitation, he immediately set off. In another development, the CIA director met with a tech billionaire to negotiate. However, the man stated that he had just learned the CIA system had been breached and therefore decided to terminate all cooperation. Nevertheless, the CIA director did not accept this easily. He reminded him that it was the CIA that had supported and elevated him to his current status. The price for that success was that all customer data from the software he developed had to be fully handed over to the CIA, helping the agency amass information on countless individuals. In response to the intention to withdraw, the director bluntly warned that anyone who bit the hand that fed them would not escape unscathed. While Jason relentlessly searched for his own past, back at CIA headquarters, Lee continued studying the files related to him. She read numerous documents about operations such as Cheston and Black Rhea that Jason had participated in, as well as psychological assessments indicating that he was in an extremely unstable state. Gradually, in Lee's mind, the intention to hunt down Jason faded, replaced by an entirely different plan. Jason arrived in Berlin and went to the house listed in Nikki's notebook. It was the residence of Christian, the man who had once recruited him for the CIA. Under threat, Christian was forced to turn on the computer and activate the files on the USB drive. However, that very moment exposed Jason's location. When Nikki stole the documents earlier, the CIA had already embedded tracking malware. The moment the USB was opened, a signal would immediately be sent back to headquarters. Completely unaware that he was now in the crosshairs, Jason began reading the files related to himself and realized that from the very beginning, he had been deliberately targeted, monitored, and approached by the CIA. Even more frightening was that his father had also been dragged into this vortex. All along, Jason had believed his father was merely a desk clerk, but the documents, video footage, and the suspicious circumstances surrounding his father's death told a different story. It seemed that his father father had also been sent by the CIA on dark missions, and once he was no longer of any use, they had him eliminated. Even so, all of this was still just speculation. Jason had yet to obtain a definitive answer. The moment the malware was activated, the CIA quickly pinpointed Jason's location. Knowing he was approaching dangerous files, the director ordered Lee to erase all data at any cost, using Kristen's phone left on the table. Lee sequentially hacked into the phone, then breached Jason's computer without him noticing. While Jason was still focused on reading the files, Kristen panicked, fearing her secrets would be exposed and that she would be retaliated against, so she recklessly attacked him. However, in every aspect, Kristen was no match for Jason. After just 2 strikes, he collapsed unconscious. Just as Jason was about to continue reading more documents, Lee completed the intrusion and wiped all the data clean, causing everything to vanish before his eyes. Immediately afterward, on the director's orders, Lee connected a call to Jason. At first, she believed she had fully grasped his psychology, that what he desired most was to recover his past. Lee proposed that if Jason returned, she would help him learn the truth about who he really was. The CIA director also spoke directly, tactfully saying that Jason's father was a patriot, that his career involved necessary sacrifices to protect the country. He wanted to use those words to soothe Jason and make him abandon the idea of exposing everything. But at the same time, the director had secretly dispatched a team of assassins to eliminate Jason. Lee was the one who knew this better than anyone. Silently, she sent Jason a warning message that danger was closing in. As soon as he received the message, Jason immediately left the room. Sure enough, the assassin team appeared just in time. Fortunately, by the time they arrived, Jason had already gone downstairs. He only had to face a single man, and with just 1 strike, the attacker fell unconscious. Back at CIA headquarters, Lee did not want Jason to continue being hunted. To her, what he had endured was far too unjust. Lee proposed an alternative plan to the director, allowing her to personally persuade Jason to return and cooperate with the CIA. In return, she would help him recover his past, while the organization could still control all the secrets. If it failed, the director could simply resume the manhunt. After a brief consideration, he agreed, because he did not want to push the situation too far. On another front, the tech billionaire, after announcing his withdrawal from the CIA's covert deals, received an investigation order from the Department of Justice just days later. He knew full well it was a warning shot from the CIA director, but he had no intention of backing down. The billionaire decided to gather all evidence of the shady dealings between himself and the CIA, preparing to fly to Las Vegas for a tech conference to expose everything publicly. However, he did not realize that his trusted assistant had already sold this information to the CIA director. Meanwhile, Lee launched a new operation to track and bring Jason back. Following the trail, she determined that he was on his way to London. 2 surveillance teams were dispatched, along with the presence of the assassin under the guise of support. However, that was only the surface. The CIA director had secretly issued a separate order to the assassin, instructing him to merely put on an act in front of Lee, but to eliminate Jason immediately if the opportunity arose. The reason for such urgency was clear, because the person Jason was about to meet was Smith, the one who knew the full truth about his father, and the cause of his death. The director had already warned Smith in advance, forcing him to wear an earpiece and follow instructions exactly. After contacting Smith, Jason arranged to meet him beneath the building where he worked. From a distance, he realized Smith was under heavy CIA surveillance, but that did not make him hesitate. When Smith left the office, Lee immediately ordered the 2 teams to tail him closely. The assassin also followed behind to provide backup. However, after only a short distance, the assassin suddenly threw the tracking device into a trash bin, then swiftly eliminated both CIA surveillance teams. Losing the signal, the director immediately blamed Jason, believing that he was the one who killed them, which meant that all efforts at persuasion were now meaningless. He ordered Lee to stand down and handed full authority over to the assassin. When Lee protested, he immediately stripped her of command. By this time, the assassin had already taken control of the building's rooftop, the perfect vantage point to observe the meeting. The moment Jason showed himself, he would pull the trigger. But at that exact moment, Jason sabotaged the building's electrical system, causing a short circuit and triggering the fire alarm. The crowd panicked and flooded into the streets, and in that brief chaos, Jason grabbed Smith and led him away. Helplessly watching from the rooftop, the sniper could do nothing. Jason forced Smith to reveal the truth about his father. The CIA director immediately used the radio to threaten Smith's family, forcing him to stay silent. However, haunted by guilt, Smith still revealed that Jason's father once possessed dangerous secrets within the CIA. When he learned that the organization was now targeting his son, he threatened to expose everything. In response, the CIA chose to assassinate him on the spot to permanently silence him. The assassin tracked down their location and rushed in. Jason quickly used Smith as a shield and leapt from the building to escape. As the assassin pursued, the director suddenly ordered a withdrawal. He understood that both he and the assassin had been fully exposed, and that Jason would come for them sooner or later. Instead of continuing the manhunt, he decided to switch to another plan. As for Jason, after escaping the encirclement, he went to Lee's car and demanded information about the CIA director and his upcoming itinerary. Learning that the director was preparing to travel to Las Vegas to meet technology partners, Jason was about to leave when Lee proposed cooperation. She said that although they did not share the same reasons, they shared the same goal: to remove him from the position of CIA director. A few days later, the CIA director and the assassin set off for Las Vegas, secretly planning to assassinate the tech billionaire in order to silence him before any secrets were exposed. At the same time, with Lee's help, Jason obtained a clean passport to return to the United States. When he set foot on American soil, Lee was already there. Their target this time was the Conference of Tech Founders. When the event began, the CIA director ordered the assassin to take position. Before Lee approached the director, Jason texted her, asking her to secretly attach a tracking device to his bag so he could monitor every movement when needed. Everything proceeded according to the director's plan. The moment the tech billionaire finished his speech, the assassin prepared to strike. But at that moment, the CIA informed the director that Jason had appeared at the conference. He was stunned, unable to understand how Jason had passed airport security. When told that the wanted data had been erased, he immediately thought of Lee and realized Jason was here to ruin everything. The director immediately ordered the assassin to kill both the tech billionaire and Lee. Sensing that something was wrong, Lee quickly warned Jason. The moment he received the message, he acted immediately. Jason charged into the hall and redirected the stage lights straight at the assassin's position, preventing him from aiming. Even so, the assassin still managed to fire. The bullet hit the tech billionaire but was deflected. Not fatal, just enough for him to be rushed to emergency treatment in the nick of time. Jason quickly holstered his gun and blended into the crowd to find an escape route. At the same time, the assassin's identity was uncovered by the police, who launched an intense pursuit, leaving him no time to keep chasing Jason. Knowing that Jason was still hiding in Las Vegas, the CIA director immediately mobilized agents to hunt him down. However, Jason was calm and sharp enough to shake off every single one of them. When there was no other choice left, the director returned to his private room, believing he was finally safe. But he had no idea that thanks to the tracking device, Jason had located him long ago. Facing imminent death, the old director still tried to manipulate Jason psychologically. He insisted that Jason becoming an assassin had helped America greatly, saved countless lives, and that this was his mission. But those words no longer had any effect. Everything Jason had endured over the years was the clearest answer to that so-called sacred mission. A life haunted by guilt, with no future, no family, no homeland. Just as Jason was trying to uncover more truths, especially about his father, CIA agents suddenly stormed in and opened fire. Caught off guard, Jason was hit and nearly shot dead by the director himself. At that critical moment, Lee appeared coldly and opened fire, taking down the agents along with the old director. Facing that situation, Jason urged Lee to leave this place, while he would continue to hunt down the assassin. Lee replied that he did not need to do anything else, she would be the one to end it all. But Jason refused. To him, this was personal, and he would settle it with his own hands. Jason rushed into the streets to track down the assassin. By then, the assassin had hijacked a police vehicle. Jason quickly seized another car and followed the chase through the streets. The streets of Las Vegas turned into a Funkwang racetrack. Despite police pursuit from behind and helicopters circling overhead, both drove recklessly, ignoring everything around them. All attempts to stop or capture them failed. Any vehicle that got close was thrown aside or smashed. In terms of vehicles, Jason was at a disadvantage, as his opponent was driving an armored police vehicle. But that did not make him hesitate. Jason drove his car like a heavy weapon, ready to crush anything in his way. Despite being constantly overpowered, he never backed down. Finally, the assassin cornered Jason, flipping his car into the air and slamming it onto the road like a toy. He believed that impact was enough to finish Jason. But when he ran into a building to escape the police, Jason still emerged from the wreckage like an immortal. Soon after, Jason tracked down his opponent's trail in the underground tunnels. Without hesitation, the two charged into a brutal fight. Both were badly injured, but they knew only one would survive this battle. Every punch carried their full strength and will. At one point, Jason was suddenly strangled with a wire by the assassin, pushed to the brink of death. In that razor-thin moment between life and death, Jason broke free, counterattacked in a flash, and took down his opponent on the spot. At the end of the film, after the death of the CIA director, Lee meets with top superiors and requests consideration for the now vacant director position. She promises that if granted authority, she will bring Jason back to work for the CIA. And if not, she herself will be the one to deal with him. After that, Lee meets Jason and continues using arguments of patriotism to persuade him to cooperate. Jason only replies that he needs time to think. As Lee gets into the car and leaves, she receives a video sent by Jason as his final answer. The video records the entire conversation between her and her superiors. Only then does Lee realize that her plan to reclaim Jason has completely failed, and there is nothing she can do to change it. Will she be able to eliminate Jason or not? The answer will be revealed in the next installment of the Spy series. Please stay tuned. This scene also marks the end of the movie. How do you feel about this film? Leave a comment and let me know. If you enjoyed it, please give a like and subscribe to support me in making more videos. Thank you very much, and see you again.